My name is Eric Freeman, and I am a former victim of serious drug addiction. Drug addiction led me astray. It made me insane, and I almost died. So today I want to tell my story about how God delivered me from drug addiction, how God delivered me from insanity, and how God saved me from the power of death.
I got high every day, but I never reached the top. One moment high, another low, what another kayamana.
Because of my musical aspiration and my musical dreams, I joined the band at an early age, and I became the bass guitarist for a group called Stable Stars back then, and I played the bass guitar with the group in nightclubs, talent shows, and other places. When later I realized that I could do more than just playing the bass guitar, I started singing. I started copying reggae artists like Bob Marley, the Lucky Dube, the Peter Tosh, Alpha Blondy, other reggae artists because I really love reggae music. And after having sung copyright for a while, I also found out that I could write my own songs. So I started writing my own songs. I remember the first song I wrote was in French called Meloman. I even created my own bass line for that song. And people here heard it and they said it was fine. So that encouraged me and I started writing more songs. So I built up my own personal repertoire of original songs. And after a while, I decided I was going to record my songs. Okay, the first batch of songs I have recorded. So I went to the recording studio and we did the instrumentation of the songs. And then that day I was to do the vocals of the songs. But then while waiting, a friend of mine came, a big brother, who was a Rastafarian, and he was someone that I admire so much because he sings very well. So he came to me and said, Eric, I see you want to do reggae music and you have the gift, you have the talent, but there are two things you must do in order to succeed musically. Because nobody has reached to stardom in reggae music without doing these two things. So I asked him, why the two things? He told me, one, you need to go dreadlocks. He said, every reggae musician that have made it to stardom had dreadlock. He called Lucky Dube, he called Peter Tosh, he called Bob Marley, he called Brennan Williams, or Brennan Wheeler. So I was convinced. So I said, what's the second thing? He said, the second thing is I need to take higher. Or we call grass or marijuana or ganja. He said the ganja is not drugs as people see it, but what it does is that it inspires you, it motivates you, it takes you to a higher level, and it puts you on top of the game. He said that's why Peter Tosh or Bob Marley they smoke a lot of or marijuana. So that too I agreed to. So he said, what you say? I said fine. So he took out the first marijuana. For me, he molded it and he fixed it. He took a dread and he passed it on to me. For the first time, I smoked the marijuana. But the feeling I got for the first time, it was different. I have never had such a feeling before. The sensation, it blew my mind and I really fell in love with it. So I smoked the marijuana and I went into the studio and I did my vocal perfectly. The next day, I had a desire to try it again, because I love the sensation. So the next day I tried and I love it even more. The following day I tried. The next thing I found myself smoking marijuana every day. I smoke it every day. I found out all the ghettos that were in the city, most especially the ghetto on Ghetto Street. I was there every day. So eventually I became addicted to marijuana. I couldn't sing without smoking marijuana. I couldn't play the bass guitar without smoking marijuana. I couldn't write songs without smoking marijuana. I couldn't go a day without getting high. So I was a drug addict. Initially, I thought the marijuana was making me smarter or wiser or more intelligent because it had a direct effect on my mind. And other people saw me and said, well, Eric, smarter. I played the bass guitar better than I did before smoking. But later did I know that marijuana was sending me insane. I was going insane. I think I crossed the line into insanity. Things that were insignificant to the ordinary people started becoming significant to me. For example, going home, I found myself picking up paper from the ground to get information. I would take power paper from the ground, take them home to read them. Those are things that ordinary people or normal people will pass by. So one thing I found out is that one difference between insane people and normal people is that the insane people are attracted to insignificant things, and normal people move on normally with life. So I did that for a long period of time, and I did know. And then one day while we're sitting in the ghetto, I told my friends that I was going to go to the executive mansion. They all laughed. They thought it was just or high man talk. I said, I'm going to the mansion tomorrow. So the next morning I got up, wore my blue jeans trousers. I had a brown Dexter. I wore it, put on a white shirt, and I took a Bible that was given to me once by a military man who was playing at a particular entertainment center. The guy called me outside. I think he admired my singing so much, and he gave me the Bible. He told me to read the Bible. So once in a while in the ghetto, I will read that Bible. So I took that Bible that day, and I headed for the executive mansion. As I said, I walked from 21st Street all the way to the executive mansion. When I got to the executive mansion, I met the soldier at the gate, the Ecomog soldier. So I told him, and I was very high. My eyes were red, but then I had dreadlocks, you know. So I told him, I said, God has sent me to give a message to the president of Liberia. So the American said, what kind of message? I said, it's a special message, and this message is going to be peace to Liberia. God has been determined to give it directly to the president. So I don't know why this guy opened the door. I don't know whether it was a trap he set for me, or he just had this extreme love or respect for religious people. He allowed me to pass. So I passed the first gate going to the mansion. I went all the way down to the mansion entrance of the executive mansion. When I got there, I met a group of soldiers there. And they said, what happened? So I told them the same thing I told the soldier at the gate. I said, God has sent me to give a message to the president of the Republic of Liberia. He has given me a message that will bring peace to Liberia. I want to see the president. So I never thinking, when the one guy saw me, I don't know where that guy knew me from. He knew me, and he shouted my name. What are you doing here? So I said, he said, I move from here. What kind of message you get for the president? You better get out from here. You don't belong here. And when the guy said that, then the Ecomos soldiers realized that I was unserious and there was something wrong with me. And then they opened up on me and they started beating me, they kicked me, and they dragged me from the executive mansion all the way to the gate and put me out. So I fell down and I tried to get up. The Ecomos soldier took his gun, the AK-47, and advanced it and told me, if I move to the mansion, you're going to shoot me. So I got up, dusted myself, and I went right back to the ghetto, and I smoked. And that was insane. So I kept with the band, and in the band, I smoked the marijuana more than anybody else in that band. I smoked marijuana so much, man. I was so much addicted to marijuana. There wasn't a day I never had marijuana on me, you know. So this day we're invited for an audition at one of the biggest bar and restaurant in Liberia called El Maison. So when that morning we set up the equipment, our guy called T-Ball, Ernest Doe and myself, we set up the equipment and the instruments. And as we normally do, after setting all the next thing, we'll get high and then we'll come back for performance. So that day we got to setting up. I don't know where T-Ball went, but I went straight to Ghetto. When I went to the ghetto, I ordered for my marijuana, And when they gave me the marijuana, I looked in it, there was a white substance in the marijuana, which was not normal. Normally it's marijuana alone. So when I saw the white substance, instead of giving it back to the guy to change, I decided to experiment. And I realized that white substance was cocaine. So it was cocaine mixed with marijuana. I said, let me try. Let's see what would this sensation be like. So I took it and I smoked it that day. When I got through smoking, before I could end the joint, the marijuana, the mixture of marijuana and cocaine, the sensation was different. It was more powerful. It was different. My hair, it blew, exploded. It was like some alien entity of foreign force had taken over me, and I was just a witness to my action. So I left from Ghetto and I went back to El Maison, but I was a different person. I was hallucinating. I was saying things that were not there. I was hearing voices. And the first thing I did, I scattered my hair. My eyes were red, my lips black. So I went straight in to El Maison. And mind you, I went to the barber, I scattered my hair from my head, and I started disturbing the whole place. I disturbed the place that day. I disturbed so much that the show was canceled. And all my band members got mad at me, they abused me, all of them left. But guess what? I'm still in the street. where I should not have been. That was abnormal.